Today I'm going to read you a fairy tale. Do you remember what a fairy tale is? A while ago, I read you a couple more fairy tales, and fairy tales are stories that are not real, and the characters inside are not real either, but they're usually about characters that are like fantasy characters. So that's goblins and elves and fairies, so some things that aren't real. In our story right today, okay, we're going to be reading about someone named Rumpelstiltskin, and that's this man right here. And he has magic and he likes to play tricks on people. Okay. It says adapted by Mara Alperin and illustrated by Loretta Shower. We've read books like this before, like The Three Little Pigs, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and they all kind of look the same because they're written by the same author and the same illustrator. The author, what she does is she takes the stories, like Rumpelstiltskin and the Goldilocks and the Three Bears. She didn't make those stories, but she heard the stories and she said, I want to make a book about that story because I really like that story. And so what she does is she makes her own book using that story. And she likes to, she works with her friend Loretta Shower, and they make their own pictures to go with the story. And sometimes they can change the story just a little bit to make it their story. But they did not come up with the story by themselves. They liked that story, and they wanted to write their own story using the same characters and the same problems and the same setting, okay? If we look at the front cover, right, we can see Rumpelstiltskin, and he's got some gold coins, and he's dancing, right? He kind of looks a little crazy. And we see a little girl back here, right? What does she look like? She looks worried, kind of like scared, like, what is he doing here, right? On the back cover, okay, oh, do you think that's the same little girl? Maybe, but now she's like a princess or a queen. And here's Rumpelstiltskin. He says, time to pay. And she said, no way. And then on the back it says, poor Isabel. The king has locked her in a tower and ordered her to spin straw into gold. It's impossible. Then a mysterious magical man appears offering to help. But what does he want in return? Okay, so he's like, I'll help you, but he wants something back, okay? All right, so let's read the story. Rumpelstiltskin. Can you say that? Rumpelstiltskin. Okay. There's the title page, and there's Rumpelstiltskin. He's got a gold crown. There once was a foolish miller whose pride and joy was his beautiful daughter Isabel. She was sweet and gentle and adored by all. The miller was so proud of Isabel that he boasted about her day after day to anyone who would listen. Boasting means like he's so proud, so he like talks about her like she's so great, she's amazing, she's beautiful, she does all these things. Tulips start to bloom when my daughters sing, bragged the miller. When Isabel catches raindrops, they turn into butterflies. My daughter can even spin straw into gold. Okay? Do you know what straw is? Straw is like hay that the horses eat or the cows eat, okay? And he said, my daughter is so amazing, she can take gold and she can she can take the straw and make it into gold. Soon, word reached the king, who rode to the village to hear the miller's amazing tales. Gold from straw, the king cried greedily. How clever! I command you to spin for me tonight. Wait! There's been a terrible mistake, shouted Isabel, but it was too late, and she was carried off to the castle. So the king heard about what she can do, and he's like, I want you to come make gold for me. And she said, wait, I can't do that. There in the highest tower was a small wooden spinning wheel and a mountain of straw. Spin me my gold, ordered the king, or I shall throw you into the royal dungeons. Poor Isabel tried everything she could think of. She pedaled the wheel and she twisted the straw. She pushed and she pulled, but nothing worked. As the stars began to twinkle, Isabel started to cry. If only there were someone who could help me, she wept. Who's going to come help her? Suddenly there was a dazzling flash of light, and poof! A strange little man appeared. He had a sharp, pointy face and a glittering golden cape. I can spin straw into gold, the little man smirked, and I will help you for a price. But I'm just the miller's daughter, whispered Isabel. I have nothing to give. Here's my plan, he said. Tonight I will spin your gold, but one day, when you have riches beyond your dreams, I shall return and you must promise me my pick of treasure then." "Yes, anything," Isabel agreed gratefully. So he said, "One day when you're really rich, I'm going to come back and you're going to pay me what I want." And she said, "Okay." So the little man sat down with the wheel. Whir, whir. Around it spun, making coins and crowns and trinkets and trophies until the room glittered with gold. "You saved me," sighed Isabel. "How will I ever repay you?" "Just don't forget your promise," laughed the little man. And with that, he vanished. In the morning the king returned. He was delighted. "What glorious gold!" he cheered. "You truly are a wonderful girl. You must come and live in my castle. I'd like you to meet my son, Prince Herbert." Unlike his father, Prince Herbert was handsome and kind. He and Isabel fell in love at once. Soon the wedding bells rang out across the land. They got married. The years passed, and the happy couple were blessed with a beautiful baby boy, Prince Hugo. They were so happy, in fact, that Isabel forgot all about the funny little man. Until one stormy night, as the lightning flashed, poof, the little man appeared again. "It's me, my pretty one," he cackled. "I'm here for the treasure you promised." "What treasure would you like?" Isabel asked. "Gold? Silver? A diamond necklace?" "No," sneered the little man. "I want something even more precious. I want—" What do you think he wants? Him, the baby. And he pointed right at Hugo. "No," cried Isabel in horror. "You can't take my darling baby." "Very well," the little man purred. "Then how about a game? If you can guess my name before 3 nights have passed, you can keep your baby." And chuckling, the little man leaped into the air and vanished. "Don't worry, my love," called Herbert, rushing over. "That horrid man will never take dear sweet Hugo." Do you think they're going to guess his name? On the first night, Isabel guessed all the names she'd ever heard. Nick, Ned, Norbert, Willie, Wally, Weatherby? "No, no, no," giggled the little man. "That's not my name." The second night, Isabel and Herbert were up until dawn thinking up new names. "Is it Bumblenukle? Grubble-grunt? Wiggle-boo?" "No, no, no," cheered the little man. "Not even close." Isabel was desperate. "I can't think of any more names," she cried. "Then we must find out this little man's secret," said Herbert. "I have a plan." What does he have? It's a map. Where do you think they're going to go? So the next morning, Herbert set out a search for the little man. He rode through the village and over the hills and deep into the forest, but the little man was nowhere to be found. Then, as the sun was setting in the woods, he saw the flash of a golden cape. Herbert hid behind a tree and watched as the little man danced around the fire, singing, "The queen will never win this game. Rumpelstiltskin is my name." "That's it," Herbert whispered, and he rushed back to tell Isabel. That night, the little man appeared one final time. "This is your last chance, my pretty one." "Let me think," said Isabel. She frowned and she scratched her head. Could it be Rumpelstiltskin? "Doom and darkness! How did you guess?" shrieked Rumpelstiltskin, and he howled, and he growled, and he stomped, and he stamped so hard that he crashed right through the floor and fell down, 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 deep into the royal dungeons below. Rumpelstiltskin was never seen in the kingdom ever again. Hugo grew up to be gentle and kind and adored by all, just like his mother. And so they lived happily ever after. The end.